Imagine a world where every interaction you have is subtly guided by invisible forces, where a simple request can snowball into a cascade of decisions, and where you might be using these techniques yourself without even realizing it. Today, we delve into the fascinating realm of psychological manipulation, a subject that reveals how our thoughts, actions, and even our deepest beliefs can be influenced by carefully engineered strategies. These strategies are as old as human social interaction, yet as modern as the latest marketing gimmick. And while this might sound like something straight out of a conspiracy thriller, the truth is that these methods are employed every day in our lives. From the way salespeople entice us with free samples to the sophisticated experiments that demonstrate the power of social influence. To begin with, consider the principle of reciprocity, which operates on the simple idea that when someone does you a favor, you feel an almost irresistible urge to return the gesture. Even if that favor is as trivial as offering you a small taste of a delicious snack at a mall kiosk. That tiny sample plants a seed of indebtedness in your mind that can nudge you towards purchasing the product, not necessarily because you love it, but because you subconsciously want to repay the kindness. And this very mechanism is exploited by marketers and sales professionals around the globe. Now take it a step further with the technique known as the door-in-the-face strategy, where an initial, often outrageous request is made with the expectation that it will be refused, only to be followed by a smaller request that suddenly seems much more reasonable by comparison. In a clever twist of human psychology, the target feels compelled to agree to the lesser demand because it represents a compromise, a behavior rooted in the human desire for consistency. Known as the commitment and consistency principle, which suggests that once we commit to a certain action, even in a seemingly insignificant way, we tend to behave in ways that are consistent with that commitment. So much so that if you agree to a minor request, you're more likely to consent to a larger one later on, all because of the need to align your actions with your self-image as someone who honors their word. This phenomenon is further illustrated by studies in which researchers asked participants to display a sign in their yard, warning drivers to be cautious. And while only a small percentage agreed when approached directly, the rate of compliance soared when the request was preceded by a smaller, seemingly innocuous favor. This demonstrates that the more you invest, even minimally, the harder it becomes to back out later, without feeling a sense of internal conflict. Another pillar of psychological manipulation is the principle of social proof, which essentially posits that when we're uncertain about how to behave, we look to others for guidance. Meaning that the behavior of those around us can dramatically sway our own actions. Whether it's witnessing a group of people ignore a fallen stranger on the street due to the diffusion of responsibility, a phenomenon famously known as the bystander effect, or seeing that most people in your social circle endorse a particular opinion or product, which in turn makes you more likely to adopt the same perspective or make a similar purchase. Experiments have shown that when individuals are placed in groups, the likelihood of them taking action decreases significantly compared to when they are alone. This is because the responsibility to act is dispersed among all the onlookers. This subtle social influence can shape not only our immediate decisions but also our long-term beliefs and behaviors, without us even being aware of it. As you listen to this narrative, you might begin to wonder whether you've ever been a victim of these psychological tactics, or perhaps even an unwitting perpetrator, influencing others with your actions and words in ways that seem perfectly natural, yet are driven by deeply embedded psychological principles. The truth is, we all operate within a complex web of social cues and manipulative techniques that can steer our thoughts and decisions. And, while some of these methods are used for benign purposes like improving sales or fostering community cooperation, others can be exploited to deceive, control, or even manipulate entire populations. This makes it all the more crucial to understand these mechanisms so that you can recognize them when they occur, and ideally, use them ethically in your own life. Our exploration today takes us through various real-life examples and experimental studies. Imagine a scenario where a simple request for a free sample led to a much larger purchase due solely to the feeling of indebtedness. Or consider another study where people, when left alone, readily offered help to someone in distress. But when surrounded by others, they hesitated, each individual subconsciously assuming that someone else would step in, a chilling reminder of how social dynamics can sometimes paralyze us in moments when decisive action is needed. And yet, Despite the potential dangers, there is also a lighthearted side to these discoveries. They reveal not only the vulnerabilities in human behavior, but also the incredible adaptability of the human mind. We can learn to harness these techniques for personal growth, improved relationships, and even self-protection against manipulation by others. As our journey through the hidden art of persuasion unfolds, we invite you to reflect on your own experiences. Consider the ways in which you might have been influenced by these subtle forces. Perhaps you can even embrace the power of awareness as a tool for better decision-making, turning what could be seen as a weakness into a strength. In closing, remember that knowledge is power. By understanding the psychological underpinnings of social influence, whether it be through reciprocity, commitment, social proof, or other mechanisms, you can begin to navigate the complex maze of human interactions with greater insight and confidence. Safeguard your autonomy in a world where every gesture, every request, and every interaction carries with it the potential to shape your destiny. And don't forget to keep a sense of humor about the absurdity of it all, because sometimes the most profound truths are best revealed with a wink and a smile. Persuasion is a powerful tool in the realm of psychological manipulation. It involves convincing others to change their attitudes or behaviors through various techniques. Understanding the art of persuasion can help you recognize when it's being used on you and how to use it ethically. Emotions play a significant role in our decision-making processes. They can influence our choices and judgments in ways we may not even realize. By understanding the impact of emotions, we can make more informed decisions and recognize when our emotions are being manipulated. As we delve deeper into psychological manipulation, it becomes imperative to examine its long-term effects on individuals and society. These techniques shape behaviors, relationships, and societal norms over time. On the positive side, they can lead to beneficial outcomes. Public health campaigns often use persuasive techniques to encourage healthier lifestyles. The Don't Mess with Texas campaign reduced littering by 72%. However, unethical use can cause long-lasting harm. High-control groups use manipulative tactics leading to emotional trauma. The long-term effects of psychological manipulation are a double-edged sword. It is our ethical responsibility to use these techniques to uplift and empower. The ethics of psychological manipulation are complex and multifaceted. While some techniques can be used for positive purposes, others can be harmful and exploitative. It's essential to understand the ethical implications of using these techniques and to use them responsibly. Consider the powerful influence of psychological tactics. When wielded with care, they can promote positive change, such as encouraging healthy behaviors or fostering cooperation. However, in the wrong hands, these same techniques can be used to deceive, coerce, or exploit vulnerable individuals. Ethical manipulation involves transparency, consent, and a commitment to the well-being of others. It requires us to ask ourselves, are we respecting the autonomy of those we influence? Are we using our knowledge to uplift, rather than to dominate? As we navigate the complex web of social cues and psychological techniques, we must remain vigilant and reflective, ensuring our actions align with ethical standards. The power of influence carries a weighty responsibility, and with the right intentions and ethical considerations, we can use it to create a better, more just world.